Good morning Year 3 and welcome to today's video, which is for Tuesday the 23rd of February. So here's your Fluent in 5. If you haven't done so already, please pause the video and set yourself a timer and have a go. So the answers. The first one, you had 42 and you needed to share it into 3 groups. So what I did here was I got my 3 groups and I started with my 4 tens. I was able to share 1, 2, 3 of my 10s, and I had 1 spare 10 left that I couldn't share yet because it wouldn't be equal, because there would be 2 10s in this one, but only 1 in each of these. So what I did was I regrouped my spare 10 into 10 1s. I was then able to share my 10 1s equally into my 3 groups and include the 2 from my 42 earlier. As you can see, I ended up with 14 in each group because I had 1 10 and 4 1s, and that meant the answer was 14. Then down here we've got our 5 times table, so if you skip count until you get to 9, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, you knew the answer was 45. We've got 258 add something equals 392. So you needed to do 258, add 134. 8 add 4 is 12, so you need to regroup the 110 into the tens column. 5 add 3 is 8, add 1 is 9, and 2 add 1 is 3. Let's look at D. You've got 33 divided by 11. Now some of you may have just been able to see that the answer was 3, and you may also know that 3 times 11 is 33. Now if you've got 11, 110 and 1 1, 110 and 1 1, 110 and 1 1, here you've got 1, 2, 3 groups of 11, and in total you've got 33. So you've got 3 groups of 11 equals 33. Now if you didn't know your times table, what it would have been worth doing is making 11 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and sharing 33 out until you ended up with 3 in a group. So well done if you got those correct. Today's learning, we are moving on to looking at comparing and ordering fractions. So let's have a look. Mrs. Hill has made 3 cakes, all the same size. And that's really important, they are all the same size. The cakes are all the same. She cuts each cake into 8 equal parts. So each cake has 8 parts. It says Jack eats 3/8 of a cake, Ty eats 5/8 of a cake, and Maya eats 8/8 of a cake. So this is Jack's cake and he has eaten 3 out of the 8 parts. This is Ty's cake. He has eaten 5 out of the 8 parts. And Maya has eaten the whole of her cake because she has eaten 8 out of 8 parts. So who has eaten the most? Well, 5/8 is greater than 3/8 because 5 parts is more than 3 parts. But 8/8 is the greatest out of all of them because Maya has eaten the whole. So Ty has eaten more than Jack, but Maya has eaten more than both Ty and Jack. Who has eaten the least? Well, we've got 3 parts compared to 5 parts, compared to 8 parts. So we know that Jack has eaten the least. Now we can only do this because our bars are all identical. They are all made up of 8 equal parts. Let's have a look at another one. Farah buys 2 pizzas, both the same size. Again, look, each of our pizzas is made up of 5 parts. That's really important. Peter eats 2/5 of his pizza and Hardeep eats 4/5 of the other pizza. Who eats the least? Well, Peter has eaten 2 parts out of 5 in total. 2 parts out of 5 in total. And Hardeep has eaten 4 parts out of 5 in total. So we know that 2 out of 5 parts, 2/5, is smaller than 4/5, so Peter has eaten less. As long as the denominators are the same, as long as you have the same amount of equal parts, 5 parts and 5 parts, then the smaller your numerator, the smaller the fraction. For example, if we were to compare those two, this bar would be 1 part out of 5, and this fraction would be 3 parts out of 5. And we can see that 1 part is less than 3 parts. Millie bakes 2 chicken pies, both the same size. So we've again got equal parts. She cuts each pie into 6 equal parts. That means in our fraction, we have 6 pieces in total. Ty eats 3/6 of his pie. And Omar eats 2/6 of his pie. So we've got a 3 parts out of 6 and a 2 parts out of 6. Both got the same amount of parts in total. This number is smaller than that number, so that we know that it is less, and this number is greater than that number, so we know this is more. So 3/6 is greater than 2/6. So who eats more? Well, hopefully you can see that Ty ate the most. What about when we compare them and we order them in size? We'll arrange the fractions in order. Begin with the greatest. Now my 3 fractions are 3/6, 2/6 and 1/6. Now I can see that they all have the same denominator. That's really important. All are talking about sixths. Now, so then who has the least parts? Well, here we've got 3 out of the 6. Here we've got 2 out of the 6. And here we've got 1 out of the 6th. So if we think about it in terms of a birthday cake, for example, we've cut our cake into 6 pieces in total. This person got 3 out of 6 pieces. This person got 2 out of 6 pieces. And this person got 1 out of 6 pieces. So we know that 1/6 is the smallest and 3/6 is the greatest. And if we were to put them in order from smallest to greatest, we would start with 1/6 because we only have 1 out of 6 pieces. Then next it would be 2/6 because 2 is more pieces than 3. So 2/6. And then lastly, our greatest would be 3/6. So again, because they've all got the same denominator, because they all have been cut into 6 equal parts, we can look at how many of those parts to work out which number is greatest. So if you've not done so already, I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at this one, because I will be going through and revealing the answers. So hopefully you've had a go. So arrange the fractions in orders, beginning with the smallest. Now they're all 7ths. So they've all been cut into the same amount of equal pieces. For this one, I've got 3 out of 7 pieces. This one, I've got 5 out of 7 pieces. And this one, I've got 2 out of 7 pieces. So who would have the least amount of pieces? Well, 2 out of 7 is smaller than 5 or 3. So the smallest is 2/7. Then which one comes next? All 5 parts is greater than 3 parts. So 3 parts is the next smallest. And then 5/7 is the greatest. So we know that 5/7 is the greatest and 2/7 is the smallest.